Hello, this is Adolf. Welcome to the video lecture series on the course of building construction. So, under this unit, we already covered job layout and the earthwork portion in this unit. So, we are going to start the foundation part in this video. The content of this video lecture is we are going to see about the foundation. And in this foundation, there are two types. One is open foundation and the depth foundation. In this video, we are going to see about the open foundation. What is foundation? In every structure, it consists of two parts. One is foundation and another one is superstructure. This foundation is the part, this is the lowest artificially prepared parts of the structure which are in direct contact with the ground and which transmits the load of the structure to the ground. These are known as foundation or the substructure. The solid ground on which the foundation rests is called foundation bed, and it is also called as foundation soil. This foundation soil, it ultimately bears the load and interacts with the foundation of the building. What are the purpose of the foundation? The foundation are provided for the following purposes: to distribute the total load coming on the structure on the large area, to support the structure, to give enough stability to the structure against various disturbing forces such as wind, rains. These are some disturbing forces. So you have to give the stability to the structure and to prepare a level surface for concreting and masonry work. These are the purpose of the foundation. The general inspection of site of work serves as a good for determine the type of foundation. Which type of foundation we can use for that particular place can be found by the general inspection of the site. So once for determining the type of foundation to be adopted for the proposed work, and in addition to it, it helps in getting the data with respect to the following items. What are the following items? The behavior of ground due to variation in depth of water table, disposal of storm water at the site, nature of soil by visual examination, and the movement of ground due to any reason. So these data we can get by the general inspection of site. Next is the types of foundation. The foundation, depending upon their nature and the depth, it is categorized into two types. First one is open foundation. Second one is deep foundation. Let's start and see what is the open foundation. This open foundation is also called as shallow foundation. This is the most common type of foundation and can be laid using open excavation by allowing natural slopes on all sides. This type of foundation is practicable for a depth of about 5 meters. So up to 5 meters we can go for the open foundation, and it's normally convenient above the water table. So if your water table is there, it should be above the water table. The base of the structure is enlarged or spread to provide individual support. Since the spread foundations are constructed in open excavation, therefore they are termed as open foundation. These type of foundations are provided for structure of moderate height build on sufficiently firm dry ground. There are various types of spread footing. So what are the various types of open foundation? First one is wall footing, second isolated footing, third combined footing, fourth continuous footing, sixth cantilever footing or strap footing, and last one is raft footing. Let's see them one by one. Let's start with the wall footing. This wall footing can be either simple or stepped type. The base course of this footing can be done in concrete, or it can be done entirely of one material. And these simple footings, wall footings, are used for a light structures only. These will have only one projection beyond the width of the wall. The base width of the concrete course should be equal to twice the size of the width of the wall, and the depth of the concrete base is at least twice the projection. So this is the wall footings. Next is isolated footing. These isolated footings are used to support columns. They can be simple, stepped, or sloped, or it can have a projection in concrete bases. So in case of a heavy loaded columns, we can give this steel reinforcement in both the directions with 15 centimeter offsets. So this is the isolated footing. Next is combined footing. These combined footings are supported two or more columns in a row. See here, two columns are combined in one base. So this is combined footing. A combined footing may be rectangular in shape or trapezoidal in shape with reinforced concrete. The location of center of gravity of the column loads and the centroid of the footing should be coincide. Otherwise, the load transfer will be ununiform and this will lead to the failure of the foundation. Inverted arch footing. This type of construction is used on soft soil. So why we are using these inverted arch footings on soft soil means to reduce the depth of the foundation loads, The loads above an opening are transmitted from supporting walls through inverted arches to the soil. See here, this is the column and this is our inverted arch footings. So the loads above an opening are transmitted from supporting walls through the inverted arch footing to the soil. In this type, the end columns, that means if it is the end columns must be stable enough to resist the outward pressure caused by the arc actions. So this is the inverted arc footing. Next is continuous footing. In this type of footing, a single continuous reinforced concrete slab is produced as a foundation. See here, this is one RC slab. From here we have 3 columns. So this is the continuous footing. This will goes on. This type of footing is suitable at a location which is liable to the earthwork activities. So if your place is earthwork prone zone, we can go for the continuous footing. This continuous footing also prevents differential settlement in the structure. And in order to have a better stability, a deeper beam is constructed in between the columns. So this is the continuous footing. Strap or cantilever footing. These strap footings consist of two or more individual footings connected by a beam called strap. In the diagram, this is the footing and this one is column. Here same column and footing. These two footings are connected by a beam called strap, or we can call it as cantilever footing or pump handle foundation. So where we use these type of foundation means, so where the distance between the column is so great, so if the distance is so great and the combined trapezoidal footing becomes quite narrow. So if it is quite narrow and it is having a high bending moment, that combined trapezoidal footing is quite a narrow one and it is having high bending moment, we will go for the strap or cantilever footing. And the last, raft footing or mat footing. This raft or the mat footings, it is a combined footing and it covers the entire area beneath the structure and supports all the columns. See here, this is the entire area. We have the raft or mat. From the raft or mat, we have the column structures. So these columns are supported by the raft and mat. So when we will use the raft foundation, so if the allowable soil pressure is low or the structure's loads are heavy, we will go for the raft foundation. But we can go for the spread foundation also, but it will become uneconomical to the structure. So we will go with the raft foundation. This raft foundation is also be used when the soil mass contains compressible lenses, so that it will undergo a differential settlement. So when it will undergo a differential settlement means, if you are not finding any odd soil within 1.5 to 2.5 meter, so at that situation we will go for the raft foundation. This raft foundation is composed of reinforcement. We will provide the reinforcement to the raft foundation. So this is the raft footing. So in this video we covered the topics related to the open foundation, and in the coming videos we will see the deep foundation. Thank you.